Vronick.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Welcome to a Monday. So get the work week started here, the 19th day of January for 2026. Mike Will, Tyson Vronick, ready to start your day the right way. We've got all the news, weather, and sports that you're going to need to get out the door here this morning. A lot of discussion. NFL playoffs from over the weekend, so we'll touch on that, obviously. The Nebraska men's basketball team, they used a big second-half run to beat Northwestern 77-58 on Saturday in Evanston, Illinois, to improve to 18-0 on the season. The Nebraska women's basketball team, they didn't play over the weekend. They've got a game coming up on Wednesday at Wisconsin. The Husker women are currently sitting at 14-4. Hastings College men's basketball team, they had a 13-point lead early in the second half, and they coughed it away. They lost to Northwestern on Saturday, losing by the score of 90-86. Broncos will be back in action again next Saturday, or I guess this Saturday, coming up at home against Briar Cliff. Hastings College women got a big performance from McKenna Yates on Saturday. They beat Northwestern 82-69. They've got the College of St. Mary's coming in here on Wednesday. The Nebraska Kearney basketball teams, they were in action against Missouri Western. We'll tell you how they did. Had a lot of high school basketball played on Saturday. We'll give you the results of that. Of course, the college football national championship game is tonight, Miami and Indiana. And, again, NFL playoffs over the weekend. I guess as we welcome in Tyson Vronick from the Western Studio, we will start right there with the NFL playoffs and our Blazing Five going down to tubes, basically.
Has there ever been a more boring-ass weekend of football? Has there ever been 3 more games that you could just really care less about at this point in the in the season? On to baseball. Pitchers and catchers report in February. Let's just flush this whole crappy ass weekend of football down the drain and forget that this stupid sport even exists. I mean, Thankfully we've got basketball that we can be excited about finally. There is no more remaining good teams. I don't care about Seattle and the Rams and the Patriots and the Broncos without Bo Nix and I don't care about Miami and Mario Cristobal and his punchable face along with Kirk Cignetti with Indiana and their punchable face. I don't care about the result of the national title game tonight, even this historic Indiana run. None of these teams that remain in football, college or pro, even trip my meter in the slightest.
Wow. I didn't expect that to start the week. I thought you would be fired up, had a good weekend of football.
I had a horrible weekend. I went 0-4.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
That's an awful weekend.
We'll get to the Blazing Five because none of us really did anything with a hoop.
And I told you, we flashed back Friday on this show. I said, hey, I'm going to bet the Rams, but you know what's going to suck is this stupid-ass half point is going to bite me in the ass. And you know what happened? This stupid half point bit me in the butt. I went 0-4. I'm going to go 0-5 tonight. Indiana is losing this national championship.
Are you kidding me?
And look at my track record. I have lost everything in the last 3 weeks. Miami should be scared shitless because I have bet them.
I can't believe that you would even say that Miami would have a chance in tonight's national championship game.
I am now a firm believer, based on my past performances from the last 2 weeks, Miami is destined for failure tonight. Or Indiana is destined for failure tonight because I have backed them. There's our stupid standings.
Yeah, I was reading over the weekend that Indiana is heavily bet, as you might expect, by the public.
Right.
And you know what's going to happen.
Vegas is going to recruit the money. Vegas wasn't built on losers.
No. Miami will make this a game tonight, and they'll cover the spread by a half a point. You just
watch. Like 24-20.
Yeah.
Something dumb.
And the public will all go down to Tubes. There's a hellacious amount of money being bet on Indiana for tonight. So you just watch. Miami will make it a game and cover the spread, which is sitting at, 7.5, 8.5 right now. And
8.5, I think, yeah.
Yeah, they'll cover the spread, and Vegas will make out like bandits, like they usually do.
Like they always do.
Okay, I'll throw up our Blazing Five.
Blech, I'm going to throw up looking at it.
Yeah,
What the hell was I thinking?
Not a good weekend for us. You go 0-4.
Thanks.
I go 1-3. IT guy, he went to 2-2, and we're all on Indiana for tonight.
We're a bunch of idiots. Miami's gonna cover that spread. Oh, 0-4.
You're 0-4.
How do you even get up to greet the day when you go 0-4 over the weekend?
Yeah,
you think that
the first thing that you've got to do is come on this show to start your week and sit here and talk about you going 0-4
right
in your picks.
And this, after what was, I would say, maybe the most brilliant first 6 weeks of football I've had in my betting career. Couldn't miss earlier this year. We were locked in, laser focused, betting MAC and Conference USA games, and all those crap conferences go away, and it's like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. We think that we have some sort of aura or expertise on this show, and we're flashing up 0-4 on the weekend. I mean, you could have walked back half-asswards into a wrong bet and still been better off than I was with actual gut reactions and things that I legitimately thought were going to happen. It couldn't have been any more wrong.
All right, so 0-4, 1-3, 2-2 for the week with everybody on Indiana for tonight. Let's talk about the crappy football that you saw over the weekend.
I don't want to. It was so bad.
Denver beating your Buffalo Bills 32-30. I thought the Bills got robbed.
Oh, thank you.
I truly do. I think the Bills got robbed.
See, I was going to bring it up on the show, but I didn't want to sound like that guy that was crying.
No, I'm with you. I thought the Bills got robbed by the officials in Denver.
Very, very, very tic-tacky down the stretch.
Yep.
In a game that, if you look at the first three quarters, was called very loose. They let him go. They let some of that tic-tac, and then in the dying, waning moments in the fourth quarter, they tightened it up, and it cost Buffalo the game. Now, also, I will say this, on the 50-50 ball INT, I didn't agree with the play call to take a deep shot right there. I think the Bills could have used up a lot more time and drove down the field and kicked a game-winning field goal. They took a shot, and the shot play confused me, and it got intercepted, and I think that was the wrong play call. But then on Denver's game-winning touchdown drive, to get back-to-back PI calls, neither of them, in my opinion, in that situation, you're playing for a spot in the AFC Championship game. I think you got to let NFL players fight it out in those two situations. So I don't agree with the two pass interference calls late in the game. Denver wins it, albeit with a quarterback with a broken ankle. Denver's done.
Yeah, Denver's done. They're done.
That was Bo Nix. I mean, he put on Superman cape. He went toe-to-toe with Josh Allen the first time that these two teams went go around last year. Buffalo pulled away in the second half. I kind of thought that was going to happen again. I kept texting my family because they were concerned about my mental health about halftime when Denver was kicking our butts. And they're like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, Buffalo's a fourth quarter team. Like, just wait. Josh Allen will put on his cape and do Josh Allen stuff. And he did.
Yeah, he got him down there to get the tie.
And he did.
They go into overtime. Yep. And that's despite Buffalo, they have 4 or 5 turnovers in the game?
Yeah, it was ugly.
So they were lucky. They were lucky to even be that close at the end of the game to have these plays that went Denver's way.
I think at times, some of the defenses, they just stop what they're doing, and they're like, oh my God, Josh Allen he's doing it again. He's doing Josh Allen things in the fourth quarter and in clutch time, and they just sort of are in awe. by what he can do. And yeah, he led them on another great drive. And like I said, overtime just it had me scratch my head. I didn't agree with the deep shot play. Certainly didn't agree with the 2 PI calls. At the end of the day, Denver won the football game, and I felt like
your
we were
season
kind
is
of
over.
robbed.
Yeah,
and I felt like we were kind of robbed.
I'm with you. I'm not a Buffalo Bills fan, and I didn't see that until yesterday because I was driving home from Orange City. So I was listening to the game on the way home, and I have satellite radio in my car, and so I was listening to the Buffalo broadcast, and
they were not.
They were not happy.
No,
they were not happy. So anyway, that was one of the 4 games, and then Seattle demolishes San Francisco.
Decimated.
Unbelievable. They've got to be the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. They got to be.
I don't like them.
I don't either. I don't know a lot of the I know the players, but then I don't know the players. You know, it's kind of that situation. Yeah, I've heard of them, but I don't watch a lot of Seattle football throughout the year, so I don't know who these guys are.
Well, they don't have the $500 million big star player, but they have 22 dudes that are going to get the job done.
And they did against San Francisco, 41-6.
Well,
was that game? And then two games yesterday. New England beating the Texans, and maybe the best game of the weekend.
Probably
28-16. And the Rams last night got by Chicago in overtime, 20-17.
I don't know. Tough to get better than Buffalo and Denver in overtime football, but I thought for like a good majority of the first half that was ugly football. Like it was slop. So maybe it wasn't the best game. I would agree with you. Houston, New England was probably the best of the 4, just in terms of watchability and quality.
So now the championship game's on Sunday. New England plays at Denver in the first game, and then the Rams at Seattle in the second game on Saturday. If you were under a rock over the weekend, Denver lost their starting quarterback at the end of the game on the Saturday. Bo Nix out, broken ankle.
Ouchies.
So Jared Stidham is going to come off of the bench and play in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, Jared Stidham. He's been around, but hasn't seen a lot of playing time. He's been with a variety of teams. He's on the Denver roster now, backing up a Bo Nix. Hasn't thrown a pass in like a couple of years in the National Football League. So now they're going to call on Jared Stidham to lead the Denver Broncos into the Super Bowl. Probably not going to happen. Sorry, Denver fans. Probably not going to happen. New England's, I think, a better team anyway.
Yeah,
New England is definitely a better team than Denver. And Denver, without their starting quarterback, they're going to be limited, I would assume. Although they have a whole week to prepare, but we'll see. They did sign some other guy to their practice squad. I looked him up this morning. Never heard of him.
No, and honestly, I'd have to do a pretty deep Google search on Jarrett Stidham to even recall his last pass attempt and what team it was for. So, Denver's in trouble. Denver's in a whole lot of trouble. And like you said, to be honest, I thought Houston was the best team in the AFC. So for New England to beat the team that I thought was the best team in the AFC, they've got to be in the driver's seat. You can't discredit what Seattle did to San Francisco. Even though San Francisco had their injuries, even though George Kittle was sidelined after last week, and it was basically just Brock Purdy and Brock Purdy alone, you still can't just discredit the dismantling. The Rams, I don't know. That could be an intriguing game. I think the best game is going to come out of the NFC for sure.
God, I just can't get excited for a potential Super Bowl matchup. with those 4 teams that are remaining this weekend.
What is this sort of wild-ass
I just saw
conspiracy?
that. I have to read that again.
Stop. Hang on.
Hold on.
What?
We got some stuff coming in on the social media sites.
Oops. I didn't mean to like it. There is a new pope this year, and that means the Seahawks are making the Super Bowl. 2005, Pope Benedict. Seahawks lose in Super Bowl. 2013, Seahawks win Super Bowl with Pope Francis. 2025, Pope Leo. ...
Well, Pope Leo was in. So every time we have a new pope, Seattle goes to the Super Bowl? Where in the hell did that come from?
And how do you... Right.
How did somebody figure that out? The IT guy is the guy who put it on our board here.
Well, I mean, I guess the new pope is a pretty historic occurrence.
So every time we have a new pope, Seattle gets into the Super Bowl. In 2005, they made the Super Bowl and lost. 2013, we had Pope Francis. Seahawks won the Super Bowl. Well, this year we've got Pope Leo. So Seattle again is in the Super Bowl. They're about ready to go into the Super Bowl. God, that's interesting.
Viral video of a Kansas basketball official flopping over backwards after a confrontation with a coach. Can a referee get a flop call too?
That came in from Ryan Martin. I missed that one.
I've seen some umpires do some pretty egregious, like you're gonna eventually poke them in the chest pad. Like, it's just gonna happen. I know you're not supposed to, but a poke to the chest doesn't designate, oh my God, you punctured my lung and I'm gonna go over in a heap of pain. No, sometimes refs and umpires can be a little over dramatic too.
I guess I'll have to Google that today. I got a lot of things to do today.
Credit Dennis Rosno, Shane says.
He
Dennis
came up
found
with
out
that?
the Pope thing.
God, how did he have time to figure that out? See, that Pope thing. And now I guess I'm going to have to Google the viral video of this Kansas basketball official.
Well, it's a federal holiday today, so you'll have plenty of time.
Flopping. Yeah, I don't have to worry about getting my mail.
Can't get to the bank.
The official on a flop call. That's interesting. All right, so those are some of the things that's going on in the wide world of sports today. If you'd like to give us a call on our Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, you can. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. If you'd like to leave us some messages on our social media sites, we're obviously monitoring those as well as we get started here today. A couple other notes. Air Force's men's basketball coach, Joe Scott.
What?
Well,
Okay. Where are we going?
The head coach for Air Force, Joe Scott.
Uh-huh.
He's been suspended indefinitely pending an investigation into the treatment of cadet athletes.
Honestly, I didn't even know Air Force had basketball, so.
Well, their basketball coach has been suspended indefinitely. No other details were provided. The Falcons are 3-14 this year.
I'd say that's mistreatment of your athletes.
Scott is in his 6th year of his second go-around with this team. He's 97 and 183 overall in charge with the Falcons.
That's his record. I thought he was 97 years old. I'm like, Jesus.
Now, wait a minute. Scott led Air Force to the NCAA tournament in 2003-2004 before he moved on and took over at Princeton for 3 years. And then he moved on to the University of Denver for 9 years. He's been an assistant coach for several seasons before returning to Air Force in 2020. And now he's in trouble for possibly mistreatment of cadet athletes. He's been suspended indefinitely. Mm-hmm. No other details provided.
Is that a phone call?
Yeah, you got a phone call coming in.
It's the phone.
Yeah, let's go to the phones on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. Good morning. I think this is Ryan Martin chiming in with us. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, guys. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I'm so excited to be here, too.
It's an okay day.
Yeah, I bet you are. I'm excited to listen to you guys this morning.
Tell me
Not have
about
to worry about going to work.
Yeah, tell me about this Kansas flop thing that you just sent us a little message on.
Yeah, so my uncle officiates basketball in Kansas, and so I was talking to him last night, and he said, hey, you got to look up this viral video. So I looked it up. It's a basketball official out of the Eudora, Kansas area, and he issues a technical on a player, and then he walks over to report it, and the coach comes out, hollering at him, questioning him, what's going on. I think he gives the coach a technical too, and then the coach kind of walks up, and the player walks in between the coach and the official, and I think the coach points at the official and just falls over backwards. It doesn't even look like any contact happened. Just falls over backwards, lays on his back for a good probably 10, 15 seconds, and the other two officials walk over just kind of looking at him, and then he gets up and then reports the rest of the stuff and goes on his business. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I got to check that out. Only in Kansas.
Funny.
Only in Kansas does that sort of stuff happen.
Right, that's why I moved to Nebraska to officiate up here.
Yeah. All right, Ryan. What's your
hey, Tyson?
Yes.
Tyson, the Buffalo Bills. I'm disappointed in Josh Allen. What the heck? You can't be losing the Denver Broncos. I'm a Chiefs fan. The Chiefs are finally knocked out for Josh Allen to have a clear path to do it all, to win the Super Bowl. He faces the Broncos and can't beat the Ponies.
You're not wrong. And wow, it kind of feels like we've wasted the prime of Josh Allen's career now. Like he's going to be 30, and this was his opportunity. Like I told you on last week's show, guys, I said I would be surprised if Sean McDermott remains the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, and I'll stand by that. I would still be surprised by the end of the day if McDermott's there. We kind of felt like with a player like Josh Allen and a roster that he's had, we should probably be 3 or 4 rings deep by now, and we're not. And there's a lot of frustration. It's starting to head Sean's way, and I'll be surprised if he survives the week with his job in tow. I really will.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Josh just seems like in the clutch, he just tries to force things, and just, I don't know. Some of it's on him, too. So
yeah, and I agree. But at the same time, like, play calling has to be better down the stretch. We can't be taking big shot plays. You got to trust that team to be able to drive down the field and kick a field goal. So, yep.
Yeah. Hey, one last topic I want to touch on with you guys is Nebraska basketball. Looking awesome. They're doing great. KU basketball, they're back in the mix. They're now 3-1. We had a big win at home against number 2 Iowa State. Also a 20-point win against Baylor at home. Now we got to go on the road and try to beat Colorado Buffaloes and the K-State Wildcats. So we're in the mix, but we're not quite Nebraska basketball right now.
I have to pose a hypothetical to you, Ryan, because I kind of am very curious on exactly how deep that Kansas blue blood allegiance lies. If Nebraska and Kansas were to square up in a national tournament second-round game, who's the Martin household cheering for?
Well, my wife is Nebraska. I will be Kansas for sure. And I just got to convince my 2 girls to root for KU.
That'd be a go ahead. That'd be a great matchup, wouldn't it? In the Martin household.
Yes, it would. It would be great. It was the same as when KU football played at Nebraska back in 2008 and just destroyed Nebraska at Memorial Stadium. I'll never forget that. In fact, I have a shirt of that score up on my wall in my KU man cave. But no. Here's the thing: when they both played last Saturday, I think it was last Saturday, at the same time, and Nebraska was up by 15. I turned over to the KU game and just watched KU game the rest of the way. And my wife goes, "Well, Nebraska basketball's on." I go, "No. In this household, KU trumps Nebraska ball. That's how it goes. It's not football season, so yeah. There you go. There's your answer."
There you go. It's good stuff.
All right,
Well,
guys.
thanks
Have
for
a great
calling in,
day.
Ryan.
Enjoy the
Appreciate
show.
it. Yep.
Yep. See ya.
All right. Ryan Martin chiming with us on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. That's how it's done. If you'd like to chime in, talk with us, we enjoy that here at the breakfast table, even though it's KU stuff. He's kind of our KU backer.
KU correspondent.
Yeah, he lets us know what's going on with KU because, hell, we don't check in the morning.
Honestly, yeah, I'm not paying attention to Kansas basketball at the moment. We got 18 reasons not to.
The Chief, he's on the road today. What
It's
the
in
hell's he doing?
Chicago Midway Airport.
What's the Chief doing in Chicago Midway Airport?
Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when he'll be back again.
Yeah. Hello, Chief.
Might be going to...
Who knows where the Chief is heading to?
He was showing me something. He was like at a Cubs conference. He got his got an autograph signed by the Cubs radio announcer.
Really?
I saw a picture come through there. He's like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And I didn't recognize him. I'm not really a huge Cubs fan. So no, I didn't pick up on it right away. It was kind of an older guy. I was like, oh, it might be Ryan Sandberg. That's the only Cub I could think of off the top of my head. And he's like, no, it's the radio announcer. I was like, oh, okay.
For Chicago?
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
Chicago
Anyway,
Cubs baseball, yeah.
He's Chief is chiming in. He's listening to us in the Chicago Midway Airport.
Josh made those mistakes at the end. Turnovers were on him. Yeah, you can believe that. That's fine.
Yeah.
You can believe that.
Josh Allen didn't have a good game.
He didn't have a good game, but I didn't think the play calling was all that great.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if your coach is going to survive the day.
I think it'd be tough. I think there were, I mean, and I'm not just saying this because we lost, right? I'm saying this because throughout the course of the last 7 years, we haven't been able to get over a certain point. And then at some point, like, you just realize you run into buzzsaws. When we had our clashes with Kansas City, that was Pat Mahomes in Pat Mahomes' prime with Andy Reid and that Super Bowl winning dynasty that he created. And so you just kind of go, okay, we were second best. Well, then the path clears, and there's no more Lamar Jackson. There's no more Pat Mahomes. That was a wide open field for you to go through. And the expectations were, I'm being serious here as a Bills person. Expectations were to win the Super Bowl this year, and they fell short. I don't think Sean McDermott makes it out of the week.
All right, so maybe keep an ear out. Buffalo Bills fans keep an ear out.
Cubs fans convention was this weekend.
God,
that's where he was.
So he went to Chicago for a Cubs fan convention?
I'd do the same if it was a Cardinals fan convention.
Now he's probably flying home. That's probably why he's
flying home.
Chicago Midway Airport this morning.
Nebraska basketball will be top 5 today, predicts Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis is all over Nebraska basketball.
I don't. Why wouldn't you be?
I mean, he went and tried to figure out the brackets and everything.
Oh, that's a little early.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out where Nebraska is going to play.
It's mid-January.
Yeah, it's mid-January. We got a long way to go yet. Nebraska still has some tough games coming up.
We haven't played Michigan yet.
No, we haven't played Michigan. We got to play Purdue yet. We got to go to Illinois.
Hey, right, and like all these teams that we beat, by the way, we get them the second time around too. Some at our place, some theirs.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we have a long season yet, but honestly, it's been a fun ride.
So far.
It's been a fun ride. Yeah, Iowa State, Michigan. I could see top 5.
Well, Iowa State lost again, so they've got 2 losses.
They lost again?
Yeah, they lost again Sunday or Saturday.
Well, that's embarrassing for them.
That's 2 losses for Iowa State this week, so they're going to plummet. Yeah, we could be top 5. God, that'd be weird. Nebraska getting the top 5.
Well, the whole season's been weird, so.
Ryan Martin has just chimed in. He thinks Kansas will be in the top 25 today, too.
Wouldn't mind seeing that.
Maybe number 24. Yeah, the cream is going to rise to the top here, folks. By the time we get to conference tournament time, you'll see Kansas back up there. They've had kind of a struggle throughout this season.
Yeah.
But by the end of the year, Kansas will be up there. Nebraska will have a couple of losses by then. I hope not. But you got to be realistic.
I think that's important to point out, though. Like, we're going to lose a couple games. And I mentioned this last week. What I don't want to see happen is we lose a couple games, and all of a sudden, because we are not used to being a good basketball team, we don't know how to act like a good basketball team, and we lose one or two good games because it's, I don't know, a 40-game freaking season, and all of a sudden the fans, like, lose their shit. I don't want to see that. I know it's going to happen. I'm prepared for this reality. I'm prepared to see one or two stupid comments come in, but we're going to lose a couple games. Like, let's just brace ourselves for reality. It would be awesome if we don't. It'd be really cool to go undefeated. That hasn't happened since the 70s. So
yeah, we brought that up last week.
An Indiana team.
Yeah. All right, those are some. We still got a lot more to discuss.
Who was the
here.
Pope the last time that a basketball team went undefeated?
Yeah, give Dennis something to do.
Come on, Dennis.
Last time the team went undefeated. Well, we had that last week. That was Indiana, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is, like back in 71.
Yeah. Who was the Pope? In last time we had an undefeated?
If it was Pope Leo III, watch out.
Anyway, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Monday.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We will start off at the state capitol, where the Nebraska Teachers Union is pushing back against the proposed private school funding. Governor Jim Pillen's new budget includes $7 million in state funds for private and parochial school scholarships. That's intended to expand school choice for low-income families. The fun thing about this is the Nebraska State Education Association is rejecting the plan, saying it diverts dollars from public schools and contradicts voter sentiment. Remember, we voted that down in 2024. The union also criticized cuts to special education funding that accompany the proposal. Opponents note that Nebraska voters repealed the voucher program in 2024 and argue public funds should stay within public education. Novel concept. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is urging the U.S. Department of Agriculture to intervene in the planned closure of the Tyson beef processing plant in Lexington. Schumer says shutting the plant down would violate the Packers and Stockyards Act and argued the move could disrupt competition and hurt cattle markets. Tyson announced back in November it would close the Lexington facility, which employs 3,200 workers, affecting the rural community and state economy. Economic impacts from the closure have been estimated at over $3 billion statewide. It is coming up on 7:33. We will head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
The Nebraska men's basketball team used a 17-3 second-half run to beat Northwestern 77-58 on Saturday in Evanston, Illinois. Huskers hit 51% of their field goals in the game, including 11 of 26 from three-point range. Bryce Sanford hit 5 3-pointers. He finished with 22 points. Braden Frager had 20. Nebraska is now 18-0 in the season, 7-0 in the conference. They've won 22 games in a row dating back to last season, the longest streak by a Big Ten team since Ohio State won 24 straight games. To open up the 2010-2011 season, Nebraska will play host to Washington on Wednesday. Tip-off will be at 8 on BTN. The Nebraska women's basketball team now 14-4 in the season, 3-4 in the conference. They will play at Wisconsin on Wednesday. Tip-off will be at 6:30. Hastings College men's basketball team blew a 13-point second-half lead and lost to Northwestern 90-86 on Saturday in Orange City. Really a tale of two halves here. The Broncos hit 60% of their field goals in the first half, including 11 of 18 from three-point range. They raced out to a 49-37 halftime lead. In the second half, they switch ends, and they connected on only 37% of their shots, including 2 of 11 from long range. They were outscored 53-37 Ben Boudreau had 26 points for the Broncos. Deron Hall had 22. Maverick Binder had 14. Micah Heinrichs had 10. Hastings now 5-15 on the season, 4-8 in the conference. They'll play host to Briar Cliff on Saturday. Hastings College women's basketball team beat Northwestern 82-69. Sophomore guard McKinney Yates scored a career-high 30 points for the Broncos on 11 of 21 shooting to go along with 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Hastings now 13-6, 9-4 in the conference. They'll play the College of St. Mary's on Wednesday at Lynn Farrell Arena. Tip-off of the game will be at 6. We'll have the contest here on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 5:45. The Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team lost to Missouri Western 86-69 on Saturday. The Lopers now 10-9. They're 3-5 in the conference. The men lost to Missouri Western 89-80. The Lopers now 9-10, 2-6 in the conference. Both teams will play host to Central Oklahoma on Thursday. Boys high school basketball from Saturday. Blair beat Hastings High 53-31. Donovan Trumbull rolled past Adams Central 59-42. And Kearney Catholic beat St. Cecilia 60-56. In girls high school basketball, Adams Central beat Donovan Trumbull 68-38. Blair defeated Hastings High 65-29. And St. Cecilia down Kearney Catholic 42-30. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:37 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
As we get back to Monday, temperatures start to slowly rebound this week. Today we'll have plenty of sunshine, a high of 31, but it'll be slightly breezy once again. We'll have wind gusts about 20 miles per hour. So that's an improvement over Friday and through the weekend. Anyway, overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 12, 41 and mostly sunny on Tuesday. Tuesday night to Wednesday morning at low of 18, then sunny and 47 on Wednesday. As we head towards the weekend, a chance of snow maybe.
It's cold this morning if you haven't stepped outdoors yet. We've got north winds at 9 miles per hour. It is cloudy, and it is 7 above in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Hi guys, this is Justin Consrick with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. Just want to talk to you about how we do things. I talk to farmers every day. A lot of guys just want a simple, honest way to sell equipment. That's why I work with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. We know the equipment, we know the buyers. We run real auctions with no buyer's fees, which brings in more bidders and stronger results. From one machine to the full lineup, we handle marketing, the details, the sales start to finish. We're just real people with real auctions, real results. If you're thinking about auctioning equipment, reach out and give me a call at 308-991-5429.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton is Business.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson and Bronick with you. Thanks for joining us. Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Monday. Again, whether you're listening to us online at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, maybe on your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. Thanks for joining us on this day. Let's talk some Husker basketball again. Nebraska again winning over Northwestern 77-58 on Saturday in Evanston, Illinois. Fred Hoiberg, after the ball game, obviously happy with the road win. He says forcing turnovers in the second half, a big key to the ball game on Saturday.
Northwestern, they're really hard to turn over. They're the number one team in the country in taking care of the basketball. And, turning them over in the second half got us going a little bit. I think 11 times we turned them over on the game. And our guys shared it again. And you look at the 18 assists, the 5 turnovers. I thought they were the more physical team in the first half. You got to give Chris Collins, I think, is doing a great job. This team very easily could have 4 conference wins. They continue to come out and play extremely hard. They play with a lot of heart. I think they take on Chris's personality with their toughness. And this team's going to win some games. There's no doubt in my mind. Martinelli I thought we did a hell of a job on him, and he had 22, which I guess is below his average. But, Martinelli is so tough, versatile. With his 3-ball falling over 50%, that makes him a very difficult cover. But I thought our team defensive effort in those 7 or 8 minutes is what really got us going.
And the coach went on to say that 17-3 run in the second half was huge for the Huskers.
We got stops and we rebounded the ball, and that was my message to him at halftime. If we can come out and take care of the glass, they were up 8 at halftime on the glass, and if we could flip that in the second half, I thought we'd have a really good chance to win the game. And that's what we did. Martinelli had 5 offensive rebounds on his own in the first half, 5 of their 7, and I don't think he had one in the second half. So that to me was as important as anything, was matching physicality on that end. We were coming off, I thought, our best defensive rebounding effort of the season against Oregon, where you hold a top 25 offensive rebound team to 0 in a half. And I thought second half we got back to doing that. We were better in the second half on the boards. And again, when we can get it off the glass, that really helps our offense.
Again, Nick Martinelli was tied for the lead as far as scoring per game. He was averaging about 28 points per contest. Nebraska held Martinelli to 22 points and 10 rebounds.
Our big message to our team with Martinelli was just try to make his shots as difficult as possible. And if he makes some of them, you can't get deflated. You can't hang your heads. He's so unique in his ability to hit that 15, 16-foot floater, that really sometimes not even looking at the basket. He's so talented and as gifted as scorers, or well, he is. He's the best scorer in college basketball, leading the nation in that area. So, I thought our double teams were more crisp. I thought we were there. I thought we contested. We talked about making a team shoot through the goalposts, and I thought we did a solid job of that in the second half.
And Nebraska winning 77-58 on Saturday against Northwestern, and the coach says everyone contributed to this win.
Rink played under 20 minutes. Rink has played a lot of minutes so far this season. That's 2 games in a row now that he's played under 20, and that's huge for our guys for the rest of the season to limit him when we are able to do that, because he's going to play some 35 to 38-minute games. He's just going to have to because of his ability. So, BK, Braden, another 20-point game, to keep shooting after I think he went 0 for 4 from 3 in the first half, get a couple fast break plays. I thought Sam was really good attacking the paint. Kale gave us great minutes off the bench. Jamarcus continues to play really well at that lead guard spot. And listen, you look across the board, everybody that stepped on the floor made a huge contribution in that win. And to me, that's what it's all about.
Bryce Sanford again leading the way for the Huskers, 22 points. He hit 5 3-pointers in the contest on Saturday.
And Price missed probably his 2 best looks of the night. And he just, when he gets loose in transition, our guys have done a great job of finding him. We've really stressed that to our team. When we're at the break, is do everything you can to locate where Price is, where Braden is, to our shooters, where Rink is, sometimes Traylon. the play when he has it going. And our guys have really bought into that. And again, that speaks to the unselfishness. I think the maturity of this team. It's an old group, and they've really bought into the whole team concept on both ends of the floor. And again, that makes our job as coaches a lot easier when you can hold them accountable. They don't take it personal. They don't, there's never been one time where they've talked back or hung their heads. And we're going to have to continue with that. We told them in the locker room, win the recovery day tomorrow, and let's bounce back with 2 great days to prepare for a really unique team that's got a ton of talent in Washington.
And that game will be coming up on Wednesday at PBA. 8 o'clock starting time. 8 o'clock starting time again on Wednesday. You'll be able to see it on BTN. Huskers and the Washington Huskies. That's our next hurdle. The Dogs on Wednesday.
That's my favorite starting time in the world, right? It's college basketball. It's 2 hours. It'll be done before 10 p.m., so no worries. To recap kind of some of the comments and what we saw this weekend, and a first half where very much it looked like it was a trap game. We have historically and have fallen in line with kind of some slow starts. I think we get our butts chewed out halftime, and then we come back with a little fire, and we're just better at making the adjustments and a better second half team than most of the teams in the Big Ten. But what he was saying, and the point that I really want to bring up is it's really a beautiful offense to watch when it's humming and they're moving the ball around like they do. This is one of the best passing teams I've ever watched, and how they share the basketball. And when Price has got the hot hand and the ball's always finding him, and he's always got open looks. They move the ball around, they move themselves around, they find open spaces. When you've got a team that's playing at that level for the consistency of stretches that they can play at that level, you got all the recipe for a pretty darn good basketball team, and that's exactly what we are. So another big win this weekend. You mentioned the Huskies coming in to PBA, and the excitement only gets amplified as we continue to pile on win after win after win after win. So I expect it to be nothing short of a sellout, rocking house environment come Wednesday night.
It is sold out again.
Beautiful.
It is sold out again for Wednesday. So, in fact, there's not a lot of tickets for the remainder of the season for Nebraska men's basketball at PBA. So, fans are getting behind the Huskers. That's great to hear. Just make sure if we drop one sooner or later that the fans still are behind the Huskers.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can spiral in a hurry, as we have seen in the past couple of years. Yeah, last year we're nowhere near this record, but we were pretty good in January last year until about this point, about the middle part of January. I think last year is when we lost like 7 or 8 games in a row.
Yeah.
And remember how down we were?
We didn't make the conference tournament.
Yeah, we didn't even make the conference tournament last year, but you and I were Debbie Downers last year.
Oh, it was... I mean, we never got to the point where we were putting the coach on the hot seat, because it was honestly like, well, what are we going to do? Like, we're not going to get anybody better. I think I made that point like 9 or 10 times during the losing streak. I'm like, we could sit here and gripe about the coach, but we're not going to find anybody better because it's Nebraska basketball. And I'm going to make some comments on the commentary team, because I think they were spot on. When they were talking about Nebraska basketball in terms of the grand picture of it all, the nationwide scope, where Nebraska still is not getting a lot of respect nationwide. Among the Big Ten we're having coach after coach after coach, Izzo mentioning like, it's a really good basketball team, and he expects Nebraska to be a tournament team and do really well in the tournament. You've got some other long-time tenured head coaches in the Big Ten that are like, yeah, these guys are tough. Nationwide, we're still not getting the respect because we haven't been established as a basketball program for long enough to earn it.
When the rankings come out today and see us up there in 5th or 6th place, everybody can say, is that a misprint? Nebraska.
Yeah.
What is this, a misprint?
To even be in the same breath as Duke and Gonzaga and Arizona.
Yeah, is this a misprint?
It all feels very, very surreal, and it still it will until we establish a tradition of winning basketball, and that could come, but it could also derail really quickly. I mean, there's nothing that says that we can't go on a 4 or 5 game losing streak when you take a look at the schedule, and the Big Ten is what it is. It's the best basketball conference in the country.
One game at a time.
One game at a time. Let's just keep going one game at a time. We got to go 1-0 every week.
Yep. At least 1-0.
At least 1-0.
Yep. So that's Wednesday is our next hurdle against Washington. We're just looking at some comments coming in here. Ryan, we already said Kansas basketball be in the top 25 today, maybe 24. Oh, yeah, shout out to the 4th grade Adams Central boys. First place at the Midwest Hoop Fest in York on Saturday.
All right.
4-0 or 3-0. That's Riken's.
Yeah, I gathered
Riken's basketball team.
Gathered that.
They have a home tournament coming up this weekend.
Okay.
At Adams Central. But anyway, yeah, they won the Midwest Hoop Fest in York on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
KU football has hired back. Who's this guy?
Koltnecki. Andy Koltnecki.
Yeah. He's
OC.
a former 2-year Penn State offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on the KU staff and then went to Penn State.
Now coming back to KU.
So Andy Koltnecki is going to be their offensive coordinator. See, Ryan Martin, he keeps us updated on that KU stuff.
It's our KU correspondent.
That's good because you and I, that's not in our daily routine, checking out the KU stuff.
And from Ryan's perspective, he's lockstep with me. Feels like an out-of-body experience to have Nebraska in the same breath as the Blue Blood. It's kind of fun. It's been a fun ride. I kind of like being up here in the top 25. I like having a successful program.
Well, we talk about it more often.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
This is the most I've ever focused on college basketball in at least 25 years.
Well, now you're going to be dialed in since you can't stand football anymore. You don't have anything to look forward to for football anymore.
No.
You don't like any
done.
of the 4 remaining teams left, and you don't like the national championship game tonight.
Nope.
So notice we haven't even talked about it today because I know you're not in tune.
I mean, it's Miami and Indiana. What's there to talk about? It's a Miami football team that came limping in, that a lot of people had doubts over whether they should even be in the final 12, and they've made their way through. Indiana obviously has proved all of the doubters wrong, including myself. I bet against them at every opportunity. I bet Alabama to beat Indiana, and I bet Oregon to beat Indiana, and
Yep.
I was severely wrong on both accounts. Now I'm finally betting Indiana, and so I mean it's Miami's national title to lose.
Miami's won 5 national titles.
Most were the Jimmy Johnson era.
Yeah, the first. Let's see, the last one. I had this somewhere. Going for their 6th, but their first since 2001. Indiana will be seeking their first championship tonight. Kickoff will be at 6:30 on ESPN. I didn't know this. In fact, we'll maybe talk about this a lot tomorrow. There's a deadline looming in the college football playoff meeting concerning expanding the college football playoff as early as next year. They could possibly be expanding the college football playoff to 16 teams as soon as 2026. And they'd like to go to a 24-team format.
No.
By 3 years after that, so 2029.
That's no.
So there's a lot.
24 is too many.
Weren't you on the bandwagon for that?
I'm on the bandwagon for 16.
Are you?
I don't want to go over 16.
So anyway, well, I'll put this on the back burner for tomorrow. We'll kind of talk about that because evidently there's going to be some things discussed this week.
Well, let's call it what it is. It's the Notre Dame clause.
Big Ten and the SEC evidently have to agree on this format. So anyway, we'll talk more about that tomorrow because it's already 7:55 here. Extreme Sports for a Monday. It's Huddle Up.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Most City of Hastings offices will be closed today in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Front desk services unavailable at the Administrative Department, Finance Department, Hastings Police Department, Hastings Fire and Rescue, Development Services Department, Utilities, Parks and Rec, Hastings Public Library, and Museum. 911 and utility emergency services, thankfully, will still remain available. Hastings Museum is closed every Monday now through the winter. The solid waste landfill will remain open for regular business hours. Normal hours of operation for all other departments will resume tomorrow. Members of the City Council approved moving their work session in observance of the holiday. Work sessions normally take place the third Monday of the month. The Council January work session will now take place at 6 p.m. on Tuesday at the Hastings Municipal Airport. Meanwhile, at the state capitol, Nebraska Teachers Union has been pushing back against a proposed private school funding proposed by Governor Jim Pillen. The new budget includes $7 million in state funds for private and parochial school scholarships intended to expand school choice for low-income families. The Nebraska State Education Association has been sharply rejecting the plan, saying it diverts dollars from public schools and contradicts voter sentiment. The union also criticized cuts to special education funding that accompany the proposal. Opponents note that Nebraska voters repealed the voucher program in 2024 and argue that public funds should stay within public education. It is now coming up on 7:57. We'll head back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Got a recap of the action from over the weekend. The Nebraska men, they beat Northwestern 77-58. The Huskers will play host to Washington on Wednesday. Hastings College men, they lost to Northwestern 90-86. Broncos will be off until Saturday when they play host to Briar Cliff. Hastings College women's basketball team, they got 30 points, a career-high 30 points from sophomore guard McKenna Yates out of Orleans, Nebraska. She scores 30 in the ball game as Hastings College beat Northwestern 82-69. The Broncos will take on College of St. Mary's on Wednesday. Both the Nebraska Kearney basketball teams losing to Missouri Western on Saturday. They'll play host to Central Oklahoma on Thursday. Boys high school basketball, Blair over Hastings High, Donovan Trumbull over Adams Central, Kearney Catholic over St. Cecilia. Girls basketball from Saturday, Adams Central beat Donovan Trumbull. Blair knocks off Hastings High and St. Cecilia over Kearney Catholic. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:58 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
As we get back to Monday, temperatures start to slowly rebound this week. Today we'll have plenty of sunshine, a high of 31, but it'll be slightly breezy once again. We'll have wind gusts about 20 miles per hour. So that's an improvement over Friday and through the weekend. Anyway, overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 12, 41 and mostly sunny on Tuesday. Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, a low of 18, then sunny and 47 on Wednesday. As we head towards the weekend, a chance of snow maybe.
North winds this morning at 9. We've got partly cloudy skies at 7 above in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Hey, this is Mick from Maletta Vista Winery in St. Paul. Just a reminder, winter hours will be Saturdays, 11:30 to 9, January through February. That's just one day a week. But come in for lunch. Homemade soup specials on Saturdays. Stick around for the evening meals that start at 5. And while you're at it, stock up on your favorite wines. Workhorse, Elephant Ear, Steuben Tiger, and more are available at Maletta Vista and wherever great Nebraska wines are sold. Maletta Vista Winery, good wine, good food, no snow boots required, but we won't judge.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson and Bronick here on this Monday, the 19th day of January, 2026. All right, we'll discuss the college football playoff tomorrow. Already got some people chiming in on what should be the perfect number if we look to maybe expand the college football playoff. So we'll do that following the national championship game tonight between Indiana and Miami. All three of us, meaning the guys in the Blazing Five room, we've got Indiana tonight winning and covering the spread. 8.5 points, I think it is. So based on our performance from over the weekend, you might want to hop on Miami.
I would be rushing to the sports book today.
and taking Miami because you and I and the IT guy are all on Miami.
Yep.
And we had such a great weekend.
Oh, it's miserable.
0-4 for you. God. 1-3 for me.
That's embarrassing. I mean, that's just embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for me.
You gotta look yourself in the mirror.
I'm a loser.
You gotta walk up to the mirror today and say, you know what? I'm
gonna end up winning the season standings, but this is not how we wanted to end the Blazing Five campaign on the lowest note possible. just lose all the remainder of your games.
Yeah, you could go 0-5 if Indiana doesn't cover tonight.
Absolutely, that's a realistic possibility.
We'll have predictions for the weekend, but I don't know if
I can't wait.
I don't know if we'll have to bet the games. We'll only have 2.
Yeah.
So we'll have to bet the games. We'll have to bet the over-unders on each game, and then we'll have to pick our best.
Have to throw in a player proposition somewhere.
Yeah, a player prop or a team prop. We'll have to get the prop bets out and find at least one prop bet that we like in either of the 2 championship games.
Anytime touchdown for somebody.
So there'll be plenty of prop bets for these games coming up this week. So we'll have to snag one of those to make our Blazing Five.
Yeah,
because we don't want to end the season like this.
It'll be Frozen 5.
Oh, it will be.
It's going to be super frozen.
It's like 35-degree wind chill. That's how bad our picks were this week. Frozen 5. That'll be on Friday. So we'll have some other stuff coming up throughout the week, so you can make plans to be here. Download the podcast today if you'd like to listen to the show again. We appreciate that. Like us on our social media sites. Follow us. Subscribe to us. Whatever you have to do.
Did you say warmer temperatures this weekend? This week?
It looks like it's going to be midweek. It's going to be warm and then damn cold for the weekend.
Of course. Just in time for the weekend.
It's going to be cold for the weekend, and we could see some snow.
Oh, it was miserable this weekend. The wind was the worst part.
It was awful.
It's only 7 degrees outside.
Right now,
but since there's no wind, it actually feels extremely comfortable.
Yeah, Saturday was miserable.
Oh, my God.
I had to stop and get gas.
Yeah.
A couple of times going to Iowa and back. And it was just miserable. You really didn't want to pull over to get gas, but you had to. You certainly didn't want to run out of gas.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was miserable. Anybody that was out and about on Saturday, you know what we're talking about. So, all righty, my man. We will get together again tomorrow morning.
That's a show.
7 o'clock. We'll get together again tomorrow morning, and we'll talk, obviously, a lot about the national championship game tonight. Kicks off at 6:30. You'll be able to see it on ESPN, Miami, and Indiana.
All the ESPN channels tonight.
What do you mean it's not on all the channels?
Well, they have the Skycast, they got the McAfee Cast, they'll have the Command Center, all those ESPN Plus channels.
God,
you could watch it 19 different ways.
I could dial that up just for the hell of it. Be kind of neat.
Yeah.
All right. We'll discuss it tomorrow morning. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for joining us.
You've been listening to Huddle Up.